And this is a quarterback that LeeAnn keyed me in on because I was unaware of one Mark Ponatoski until you certainly scouted him firsthand, got a good look at him, and started to track his progress and where he might be headed. And it might be somewhere familiar to you, possibly.
Well, you got the M right. It's not Mark, it's Matt. But he's right there coming in from Cincinnati down in near the Ohio Gatorade Player of the Year mark, not only in football, for baseball. And we've talked a lot about the agony of the woes trying to keep up with the Joneses, especially if you're in the SEC team, a team that has really known that storyline since even before I returned back to the beat, have been the Kentucky Wildcats. We know that they've had a lot of hits taken, but man, talk about a Phoenix, a Wildcat that's risen from the action. It has been all momentum for Mark Stoops and the Kentucky Wildcats June, and it continues through July. While again, this is not an immediate fix for this upcoming season, the quarterback situation at Kentucky has always been a Jekyll and a Hyde. They've had some promising talent, but no one's really ever panned out. But I really think that they've finally found their guy mark in multi-sport athlete, not only looking to play college football, but also college baseball. And I really think that this is why Kentucky has really been able to soar in this recruitment. Right now, I've been watching his film. He's been taking the diamond, is lethal when it comes to getting behind the plate and the bat. And I think this is really why Kentucky has become the front runner for Matt Ponatoski out of Archbishop Mueller. This is another kid who's been kind of under the radar, but he was very competitive at the Elite 11, the invite only, we know, for the nation's top quarterbacks, really kind of just coming into his own. And I think Mark Stoops and that staff, along with the baseball staff, have really kind of just joint forces together to get a talented player. We talk a lot about the woes of Kentucky football, but man, when it comes to Kentucky baseball, they've been really impressive over the 9-year tenure of their head coach down there, making several regional runs, winning regional runs. We're really heavy in the postseason play. So again, for a quarterback like him, given the opportunity, I think that's really why the Wildcats have pushed. There's been kind of a back and forth when he's going to make his announcement, but he did announce that he's going to be making it this weekend. And I think as far as all the boxes that he's wanting to do and check off, Kentucky just pretty much is edged. I haven't really heard any buzz, so I think that Kentucky's finally going to win strong here after a strong recruiting surge. We know that they lost their number one player, who was once their only commitment in that 2026 class, and Paducah, Kentucky standout and elite tackle Jarvis Strickland, of course. The biggest blow coming when Vince Moreau decides that he's going to head over and take over director of recruiting and player personnel over in Louisville. A long-standing relationship in that program. It seemed like Kentucky wasn't going to find the light, but again, they've really surged with some key, huge commitments. And not only have they been successful on the recruiting trail, wide receiver coach LaDarmian Washington has been an integral part in going into the state of Texas, and maybe not getting some of the most high profile recruits, but he's definitely made a lot of push in the state of Texas where other SEC programs haven't seemed to be as successful this offseason. So, if I ever was going to make a bet on Kentucky finally landing their guy, I think it happens this weekend. And I think that not only is Kentucky football about to get elevated, but I think, landing the multi-sport. It's very rare to get a state Gatorade Player of the Year in one sport, much less two sports. Again, have had the opportunity to watch his film in football, and again, been watching his baseball film. So Kentucky basketball I think, is about to get a double home run hit in not only scoring a future quarterback, but also probably a pretty damn good player in that Kentucky baseball. So again, I feel like Kentucky has really just set the best scenario for him to continue being a multi-sport athlete. And two, they have, the baseball program there really speaks volumes as far as the SEC on the national circuit. So I really think that Matt Ponatowski becomes the Kentucky Wildcat. And I think that this is really going to set the tone and excitement. Again, this is not going to be a fix for this upcoming class, which is going to have its struggles and its moments. But I think this 2026 class, at one time was last in the SEC, only holding one commit, losing their one commit, losing their top recruiting guy, their staple, has really resurged and really found its footing. So again, I think they're really going to big. Kentucky athletics is going to win big come July 6th, landing, Elite 11 finalist Matt Ponatoski and baseball standout as well. And of course, double, not one, but two, Ohio Gatorade Player of the Year.
Please like and subscribe. It's an easy thing to do here at the Voice of College Football. It doesn't cost you a penny. Just that helps the algorithm and keeps us driving forward. Please like the video and subscribe.